Right now, there are a bunch of influencers out on the internet that are making FIFO seem like this glamorized thing. Oh, you get free food, you get free accommodation, you get free this, free that. None of it's free, right? You're sweating your guts out in a desert, in a shithole little box that smells and looks like 50,000 people have had a wank in. You know, yeah, you don't pay any money for it, but you're paying with your suffering for it. And I'll show you a bunch of different what like these camps actually look like and what these rooms actually look like. And the rooms I've got are actually pretty good. They're not even like the worst types of rooms that I'm going to show you. So for an example, this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like out there. You've got obviously all these little, they're like shipping containers that can be moved just in the desert. You've got your paths, everything's red dirt. It's not pretty. It's not fun, right? This is what it looks like around site.
Stacking that money.
See, it's just like, it looks like a detention center. That's where you are.
Or I can be more flexible, have a better life-work balance, work even time on off.
So here's your washing machines you'll have out in FIFO. As you can see, it's shared. So everyone's clothes go in here. These things are grotty as, look at this one. Look at the inside of that. All the red dirt and shit. It's fucking gross. So you got that little room. One thing, doesn't happen all the time, but one thing every now and then, so this is what your washing room looks like. Every now and then someone will come in and take your washing out. Like you'll come put your washing in, you'll go off to the mess or dinner or whatever. You'll come back and they've took it out early because they wanted to do their washing and they didn't want to come back later. And shit. Doesn't happen too often, but it does happen and just fucking f***s you off. Can't. Look at the inside of that washing machine. This is what these rooms look like as well. We'll go inside one of these rooms. A shoebox, Brev. A shoebox that smells like fucking cum and old people sweat. It's probably been sitting out here for the last 40 years baking in the sun, these types of rooms. There he's bringing his shit in.
Yeah, I'll give you a tour.
This is what the rooms actually look like. To be fair, this is actually one of the nicer rooms out in FIFO, like a spacious one, like a big one, because there's a fucking desk. I've never been in a room with a desk that big. It looks a lot better than what you would normally get. It's got a full office setup, toilet, bathroom, and your bed. That's it. It's a prison cell. It's one of those Swedish prison cells. People are like, oh yeah, free accommodation. Not free. Okay, it's not free. You're paying, not with money, but with pain and suffering out in the desert. Obviously though, you know that. Before you go out to FIFO, you'll know, right, oh, this isn't gonna be glamorous. I'm not going out there for a 5-star resort, but I'm sick of people glamorizing FIFO like it's this like people are going out there with the expectation that they're going to be in a really nice room and everything's going to be so sweet and nice. It's not true.
Yeah, lovely area. It's like they've given me a mini office. I'm the boss in here.
Well, this guy's frothing that he's got a desk. That's how good of a room this is.
It's alright. So yeah, that's the room.
One little pan, that's the room.
It's very nice, eh? Spacious. I feel like I got room to do backflips over there.
Spacious. This is a spacious room.
You never see it. Normally there's cramping us all up.
So, let's
Here's another guy going into his room, checking it
check
out.
it out. We're going to open up the door. Here we go. Okay, this is all I want. Clean. Fair play to the cleaners. They do a great job. So you got your towel. hand towel, 2 pillows this time. Must be someone's permanent room.
That's another thing. Some of these FIFO rooms, like if you're a FIFO worker, you're a contractor or something like that, there's guys that are full-time at the mine, like they work for the mine, and they have like dedicated rooms. They have like a full-time room. So you can go in some of these rooms, they'll have a closet, they'll have maybe some space to put shit, but it's someone else's full-time room. So you gotta go, so he puts a lock on it and shit like that, and you can't put your shit anywhere, so you just gotta leave it on the floor.
Because they've got a lock. You got a TV, Wi-Fi, a nice air conditioner, and we'll have a look in the bathroom. Very nice, nice and clean. So that's my room, and if I've got enough energy, we're gonna go buy some creatine or protein.
No, you're not, Brave.
I'm not sure if I'm gonna go to the gym like tonight. I'm exhausted, been up since like 2:45. It's now near on 6 o'clock, or I'll just go to sleep now and then get up and start my routine tomorrow morning. So
that's the thing about these rooms out in FIFO is they just smell, they're just f***ing gross. I'm about to watch a video of the oil riggers, which is like a different type of FIFO. I never went and did it, but I know a lot of people that do. They obviously drill for oil all the time. It's a super hard job, but apparently these guys make it look fucking easy in this video, so we're gonna watch it and check it out. This is probably one of the most dangerous jobs you could do. Like, obviously there's more dangerous jobs, but like, there's a lot of shit that can go wrong, you know, when you're drilling like this. Get out of the fucking way. So obviously they come in, they'll put like a little clamp underneath, stop it dropping. And then they put these fucking clamps on it. And they're pretty much untwisting it so then they can add extra pipes to go deeper or longer. And these guys are making this look fucking easy. But imagine doing this for like 12 hours a day, just going hard all the time. So they're twisting that on, unclamping it, lifting it up. Giving them Putting some shit on the thread, make it not fucking go a bit better. Twisting it back on. These guns are making it look so easy. This is a f***ed job. Imagine doing this in the heat. Like, this is night as well. I wouldn't be surprised if they've been working maybe more than 12 hours. Or they're at the start of their shift and it's the morning, or it's just the end of their shift, it's night. And then they'll do the same thing. They'll untwist it and they'll fucking go again. This is pretty much what they do all day. But shit can go wrong with this so quick because there's so much pressure and machinery moving around. You can get snagged and shit. Stuff can snap and metal can come flinging into your face at 1,000,000 miles an hour. It's pretty hectic. So this is a video. I've never gone onto an oil rig, but I've heard it's pretty fucking hectic of what an oil rig's actually like. What you're gonna be doing out there.
14 days, 168 hours of work, no days off, and a helicopter ride home if the weather holds. That is the promise when you sign your first offshore contract. By the time you understand what it actually means, you're already standing on a helideck 60 miles from shore, watching the coastline disappear behind you. This is what new rig workers go through living offshore. The grind, the tests, the isolation, and the reason 1 in 5 will not make it through their first year. A deep water rig in the Gulf of Mexico is a city. It houses between 140 and 180 people at any given time. That's roughly the population of a small apartment building, except this one floats in 5,000 feet of water and never stops moving. Semi-submersibles sit on submerged pontoons the size of freight trains. Drill ships look like cargo vessels, but they drill through a moon pool cut into the hull. Both types run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, without pause. The rig doesn't sleep, The rig doesn't take weekends. And if you're new, neither do you. Offshore oil and gas still supplies about 30% of the world's crude oil and nearly 28% of its natural gas.
Jesus.
Deepwater fields, anything beyond 1,000 feet of water, became economically viable in the 1990s. Today, they account for a growing share of discoveries in the Gulf of Mexico, offshore Brazil, and West Africa. The workers who keep these rigs running are specialized, expensive to train, and hard to replace. You enter at the bottom, roustabout if you are general labor, roughneck if you are on the drill floor, floor hand if you are handling pipe. The hierarchy is rigid. The pay starts around $50,000 to $75,000 a year, and your first rotation is a 14-day audition in front of an audience that has seen hundreds of rookies come and go. Before you ever step onto a rig, you spend 3 to 5 weeks in safety training. You fight live fires in a burn simulator, you flip upside down in a helicopter mock-up, submerged in a pool, and escape through a window in total darkness. You practice sea survival in a wave tank. The training costs between $2,500 and $5,000. Some operators reimburse you after 90 days, some do not. Passing the course does not guarantee you a job. Hiring is volatile. It follows oil prices and rig counts. You might wait 2 months, you might wait 6 months. When the call finally comes, you get a hard hat, coveralls.
That's one thing that not many people talk about. People go out to FIFO or they go to oil rigs and stuff like that. Everyone can get sacked like overnight if the mineral or whatever the mine is harvesting drops too low where it's not worth it anymore. They'll just stop production. They'll say, we're all stopping right now until it goes back up. Everyone's sacked. Not many people talk about that. Prices dropped. Oh, we're not making a profit anymore. There's no point getting it out of the ground until we can obviously make more money. No one talks about that. People are always like, yeah, I got my safe, secure fucking job. Prices just dropped. Now you don't have a fucking job.
Steel-toed boots and a seat assignment on a helicopter. Flights from shore bases like Houma, Louisiana, take 60 to 90 minutes. The helicopters carry 12 to 19 passengers. The noise is constant. The seats face backward. If the weather turns, the flight gets canceled, and you wait. Weather delays are common and non-negotiable. Some rookies spend their first 36 hours offshore waiting in Houma because fog grounded the helicopter fleet. You land on the helideck. The noise hits you first, metal on metal, diesel generators, the hum of thrusters fighting the current.
That's a thing that I didn't even think about. When you're like living on a rig, it would just be loud all the time because you're pretty much living at site. But like somewhere like FIFO, the camps are normally a little bit away, so you don't hear, the constant of motors and shit banging together and stuff like that. I never even thought of that. You just never it'd be like working in McDonald's, the sounds you hear in there, the beep, 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 like that, except for oil rigs.
Then the vibration, then the salt spray. Within 4 hours, you sit through a safety briefing that covers muster stations, lifeboat locations, firefighting equipment, and emergency shutdown controls. The veterans sit in the back and check their phones. The briefing ends with one instruction. Your first shift starts in 2 hours, and it runs for 12 hours. The drill floor is where the work happens. It is dominated by 3 machines. The drawworks is a massive winch that raises and lowers thousands of feet of drill pipe. The top drive is the motor that spins the pipe. The rotary table is the opening in the floor where the pipe disappears into the well. You will not operate any of these. Your job is to move pipe, clean mud spills, handle hydraulic tongs, and stay out of the way. The noise on the drill floor routinely exceeds 85 decibels. During pipe connections, it spikes above 110 decibels. Hearing protection is mandatory, but you are new. You cannot hear the shouted instructions through the earplugs, so you pull one out for a second, then another second. By the end of the first week...
Fuck, man, look at the rooms they're staying in. 2 beds, you gotta share it with a... Oh, imagine fucking... You've had a long 12-hour shift, the whole fucking thing's humming, you're tired, you're getting towards the end of your swing, and then your roommate's just snoring his fucking guts off. I would shoot myself.
The ringing in your ears does not stop. 3 miles below the rig sits the blowout preventer, a stack of hydraulic valves.
Also, it's important to note that the people that work on these rigs, their swings are like 4 weeks on, 4 weeks off. It's a long time to, be in a cabin with someone, especially if you're sharing a room. I don't know if they're all like that, but I wouldn't like that at all.
It's weighing 300 to 400 tons. If pressure surges, it seals the well. You will never see it, but you will hear about it in every safety meeting. The rig is also held in place by dynamic positioning, computer-controlled thrusters that fire continuously to keep the vessel exactly over the wellbore. If dynamic positioning fails, the rig drifts. If the rig drifts, the riser can buckle. You were told this once. You are expected to remember it. Here's what nobody tells you about offshore injuries. Most of them are not explosions. They are not blowouts. In 2023, slips, trips, and falls accounted for 34% of all injuries in the United States Gulf of Mexico. Manual handling injuries accounted for 28%.
Here's another thing about sort of construction that not many people talk about outside of, I guess, work. Most of the dangerous shit that you probably hear about, like electricity and all this other stuff, doesn't happen too often. Most of the injuries are from people just thinking they're top shit and trying to move something that they probably shouldn't by themselves. Or they're rushing around and they trip over. Or someone wasn't clean and, now you're rushing around to get the job done and you trip over their mess. That's how most injuries happen.
Well control incidents accounted for fewer than 2%. And new workers, people with fewer than 6 months offshore, accounted for nearly 40% of hand and finger injuries. Pinch points, slips on metal grating, unfamiliarity with how the crew moves during pipe connections. The learning curve is steep, mistakes are visible, and every injury stops the job. You are 84 hours into your 168-hour rotation, and you still have not figured out where you are allowed to sit at dinner. Your cabin is 100 square feet. You share it with one other person, or on older rigs with 3. There's a bunk, a desk, a locker, and a shared bathroom down the hall.
That.
Modern rigs have satellite internet, but the bandwidth is limited. Personal use is restricted to off-shift hours. Some rigs in the North Sea started allowing limited video streaming in 2024 during designated windows. It is considered a significant morale upgrade. Alcohol is banned, drugs are banned.
So it's pretty much just prison, really. Fucking oath.
Random testing is mandatory. If you test positive, you are terminated immediately and removed by helicopter within hours. There are no appeals. The work schedule is 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. Day tour runs 6 in the morning to 6 in the evening. Night tour runs 6 in the evening to 6 in the morning. There are no weekends. There are no days off. You work 168 hours over 14 days. Then you fly home for 14 days. Repeat. On many Gulf of Mexico rigs, new workers get assigned to can watch. You sit in the pipe racking area during connections and watch for falling objects. It is understood as hazing. It is also a test. Can you stay alert for 2 hours, doing nothing but watching? Complaining gets remembered. The veterans are watching to see if you understand that every task exists because someone got hurt when it did not. Meals are stratified. The drilling superintendent and the offshore installation manager eat first, in a separate section of the galley. Then the supervisors. Then the floor hands. If you sit in the wrong chair during your first rotation, you will be told, and the crew will remember.
I hate nothing more than like a fucking job where there's like a hierarchy of like how important someone is, especially in something as dumb as fucking food. Like the fucking managers that eat first, and then this person, and then the rookies aren't allowed to sit on these tables. Like what the fuck? I'm all about obviously respecting people that have been there for a bit longer, but you're eating fucking food. Cunt. You're not royalty. Like, I hate that. That idea of all these people are so much better than you just because they've been there, like, way longer or something like that, or they work, or they've worked their way up. It's just such bullshit. It makes you miserable, feel like you're fucking nothing. I hate it. When I run my businesses, the best way to run businesses is when everyone feels like they're equal and they're all doing their part in a business to get a job done. Like, one of the best companies I worked for when I was in construction was when I was doing my apprenticeship. The reason why it was so good is because it had a good culture and everyone felt like, well, I felt like at least that, I'm a part of the team, we're all equal and we're working towards something. We're all working towards getting some sort of job done. But when I was out in FIFO, I just felt like a fucking number. I felt like, what I was doing didn't matter, that not even the fucking mind cared if what I was doing was going to work or not, or if it was running or not, or when it got done. You just feel like a fucking number. I hate that about like some construction things.
The rig that new workers talk about when they get home. It is the constant hum of generators, mud pumps, and thrusters. It never stops. For the first week, it makes sleep nearly impossible. The vibration travels through the walls.
Y'all can't. Look at that bed. Imagine being in that with some other stinky fat man snoring his guts off.
The floor, the mattress. By week 2, most workers say they cannot sleep without it. When they go home, the silence feels wrong. They call it the roughneck lullaby. In the 30 minutes before lights out, some workers call home on the satellite phone. The delay is 2 seconds. Conversations feel stilted. Others play cards in the rec room or watch what is on the TV in the common area. There's an unwritten rule. You do not talk shop in the rec room. By day 10,
Fair enough.
small things start to grate. Someone's boots left in the hallway, a bunkmate who snores, the cabin thermostat set 2 degrees too cold. These are the micro conflicts that erode patience when you're living elbow to elbow with strangers for two straight weeks. A deepwater rig in the Gulf of Mexico costs the operator between $250,000 and $500,000 per day. Crew changes run on strict schedules.
Wow.
Helicopters carry 12 to 19 people. If weather delays the flight, you stay. You keep working. There is no additional pay for the extra days. The rig does not stop because your 2 weeks are up. Once a week, a supply vessel pulls alongside. A crane swings pallets of groceries, mail, and replacement parts aboard. New workers stop to watch. It is a rare break in the routine and a reminder of the umbilical to shore. Entry-level positions pay $50,000 to $75,000 a year, but turnover is 22% a year. People leave because of the physical toll. They leave because of the isolation. They leave because shore-based jobs offer similar pay with better work-life balance. In your 12-person crew change flight, 3 of you are on your first rotation. 2 of them will not come back. Let us clear up 3 myths. First, offshore work is not about explosions. It is about not falling off a ladder. It is about not pinching your hand in a chain. The work is repetitive, physical, and mentally exhausting in ways that have nothing to do with drama. Second, rigs are not cut off from the modern world. Satellite internet is standard on newer rigs. You can text your family, you just cannot binge Netflix. Third, the 14 days on, 14 days off rotation does not mean you work half the year. You work 182 days on paper, but each of those days is 12 hours with no weekends. Day 13 of 14, the helicopter is scheduled for tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. and the forecast just turned yellow. Yellow means marginal. The flight might go, it might not. Fog, wind, or an offshore storm can ground helicopters for 24 to 48 hours. When that happens, you stay aboard. You keep working your 12-hour shift. You wait. The rig does not care that you have plans. It does not care that you have not seen your family in 2 weeks. It runs on it.
Can't imagine that. Imagine getting to the end of your swing, you're pumped up, ready to go, and then the helicopter can't come because of fucking weather, and then you've got to go work in the fucking weather for another 12 hours. Oh, that would be so brutal. I've had that before in FIFO, but sometimes they just let you go chill. Normally you just go work because why the fuck not? You know, you're there, you might as well work, you might as well earn money, but it's still just brutal. You're like, damn. But I feel like on a rig, there's not much room for fucking around.
Its own calendar, and that calendar has one speed, continuous. For new workers, the hardest part is not the work. It is the realization that the rig is indifferent. You can be tired, you can be homesick, you can be counting down the hours. None of that changes the schedule. Day 15, the weather.
Pretty brutal. Pretty brutal, this oil rig shit. But that's pretty much a look at like what this actually looks like in the FIFO rooms. I was just sick of propaganda of everything's all pretty, everything's all sweet. Obviously, you should understand that you're going out there and it's going to be shit. That's why you're getting paid so much money. Like that's the bottom. This is what I'm showing you stuff. You should understand that this is going to be shit. They make it sound so good and free. The reason you're getting paid so much, the reason things don't cost maybe as much money out there is because it's shit, right? Understand that before you're going out there. Like this bloke said, not many people can last out there, whether it's rigs or FIFO. But yeah.